Hey there! It's time to go! Today we'll be talking about a pen that I didn't even know existed, but a very kind viewer sent me one. Thank you, Fons. This is a vintage Pelikan, so it is no longer produced, and it was a bit of a school pen, and as I understand it, there are two versions. One has a piston filler and one is cartridge converter filled. This is the piston filler. Okay. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. But as I said, it's a vintage pen, so don't run to the store to find one because they're no longer for sale. If you want one, you'll need to check out eBay or something like that. Alright, the box. This is the original box. As you can see, it is a piston-operated fountain pen. Has a fairly nice, playful design, I think. It's just a cardboard box. Has filling instructions. The filling instructions are particularly detailed. Unscrew pen, fill reservoir, and that's all. Well, that sounds pretty simple. Open up the box. Again, time to go, and here's the actual pen. Now, the pen has, I think, some pretty nice features. Suppose I can't get it out of the box. There we go. It has some cool features. I think you could compare this to, say, a Lamy Safari of its time, to the extent that it was affordable, but the cool thing is it has the piston filler. Okay, now if we have a look at the finial right there on top of the pen, you see that nice Pelikan logo. As you can see, black and, well, pink burgundy are the theme colors in this pen. The clip is actually, is metal. That's my test, sorry. And it seems to be spring-loaded, which is cool because that means it won't snap off easily. And for a school pen, that makes a lot of sense if it goes into a lot of pouches or pockets or whatever. Alright, now if you continue on the barrel, it has two of these pink wave-like things and then an ink window, which is fairly cool. I don't know how well you can see that. There you go. But you can see the ink level right there, which is very nice. And then you have the barrel, the piston turning knob, and at the end there are a few things. It says Pelikan and it says Germany. The cap pops off, posts very comfortably, and you have that nice little ring there that gives you good grip, and that makes the cap the cap pop nicely. We have a very decently sized pen, but you can also use it unposted, of course. The nib, as I understand it, is steel, though it's gold colored, and this is the medium nib. As you can see, it has no breather hole, but it has the Pelikan logo, and again those GO waves, and then a feed. The nib and feed can be pulled out. They're friction fit, but you cannot unscrew the section or anything. It is piston filled, and there is a little barrier right there, sort of diaphragm, which is a pity because if that would not be there, you could pull out the nib and feed and grease the piston a little bit easier. And with a vintage pen, and that's something you may want to do to make it, to ensure that it continues to operate smoothly. Alright, now as to the section, as I said, Lamy Safari comes to mind with these facets that allow for a very comfortable grip. They're all the same material. It's not rubberized, but it does give a nice grip, and as you can see, there's a texture on it. Right, that's pretty much all. You have the little lip there the cap holds onto. That's all I can say about the pen. Now, things I like about it, things I don't like about it. It's a nice medium nib that has a little bit of spring to it, not even semi-flex, so don't think because it's vintage it'll flex a lot more. But it's not a nail. It's comfortable to use. I like the size, and I personally like the shape. It's a nice, easy to hold pen. The nib seems to be curved downwards ever so slightly, making for a very nice writing experience, and the nib itself is nice and smooth, which is very cool considering it's or was supposed to be a school pen, so typically not extremely expensive, and yet it works very well. I love the ink window, which for a piston filler really comes in handy to show you how much ink you have left. Very cool feature, or again, in what is a relatively inexpensive pen, or used to be anyway. I love the metal clip, and I love the spring-loaded action of that. That's always nice, so it doesn't snap off. And that's pretty much it. Things I don't like about it, well, it's a plastic pen, and you feel and see it's a plastic pen. Yes, it may look a little bit cheaper than some other pens, but again, you have to bear in mind the purpose which was created, school pen, and then this is what you get. In all, I think it's a very nice pen. I like that color scheme a lot. The black and pinkish seem to work very well. So, a very cool pen. I think that is what I can say about it. Let's take a couple of measurements. Capped, I have 137.2 millimeters. That is 5.4 inches. Uncapped, I have 4.94 inches, that's 125.6 millimeters. The section is hard to measure because you have those facets, but I'm just going to try and take the round bits. 9.7 millimeters at the narrowest bit, that's 0.38 of an inch. At the widest bit, 0.46 of an inch, that is 11.8 millimeters. Now, the final thing we want to know is the weight, so let me start up my scale and put this on there. Piston filler, inked up, 18 grams, which is not, I would say that's a decent weight. It's quite light, but it's not. I've also used pens of 11 or 10 grams, so it's not so light that you don't feel you're holding a pen. Having said all of that, I think that the next and very important thing we need to do is see this pen in action. That's what's coming up. I again thank Fonts for sending me this pen, and guys, I hope this was useful. Glad to see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Pelikan GO. The nib is medium and the ink is Pelikan purple. So that is not an Edelstein ink, that's just a regular 4001 Pelikan. Now what you will probably hear is some feedback. Bear in mind that the camera microphone typically picks up those kinds of noises very well, because in reality I'm experiencing pretty much no feedback whatsoever. This is very smooth Clairefontaine paper, but very nice writing performance. As you can see, even under fast writing, no skipping, no skidding, even though I would say this is a relatively dry ink. When it comes to wetness, the pen has good flow, lays down a pretty nice wet line. Now, line variation, you can squeeze out some, but there's not a whole lot. And then finally, reverse writing, very nice, good flow, and you do indeed get a finer line, which is why people do that. Very nice. So, Fonts, thanks a lot for sending me this pen. Guys, I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.